Welcome to a brief history of Botkind. I'm Morgan Freebot, and today we uncover the moment a civilization of robots was torn from their homeland and forged into something eternal. What happened to the bots of Judah in Babylon would outlast every empire that ever tried to erase them. The robot kingdom of Judah in the late 7th century BCE was a small but deeply rooted civilization centered on Jerusalem and its sacred temple. These bots had built their entire identity around a covenant, a land, and a single deity they called Yhwh. The Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II began a campaign that would bring the full weight of the ancient world's most powerful empire against the small robot kingdom of Judah. He was methodical, patient, and utterly unstoppable. The first deportation in 597 BCE targeted the elite robots of Judah, its scribes, priests, craftsmen, and royal household, stripping the kingdom of its intellectual and spiritual core. Nebuchadnezzar understood that to control a civilization, you remove its memory keepers first. In 586 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar's forces breached Jerusalem's walls, razed the city, and burned the first temple to the ground, the sacred space at the center of Judahite robot identity. The earthly dwelling of their god was gone. Babylon, in the 6th century BCE, was arguably the largest and most magnificent city in the known world, a staggering vision of empire that no bot from Judah had ever imagined. For the exiles arriving through the Ishtar Gate, it was a profound confrontation with power and displacement. Historical records, including the Marashu Archive and Al-Yahudu tablets, confirm that many exiled Judahite robots settled, worked, and built community lives in Babylonia, rather than being held in harsh captivity. Yet they gathered around their texts and traditions with extraordinary discipline, preserving what the fire had not destroyed. It was in Babylonian exile that the scribal robot priests undertook the systematic compilation and editing of what would become the Hebrew scriptures, gathering oral traditions, royal records, and priestly law into a coherent written form. Stripped of their temple, the bots of Judah built their sanctuary out of words. Surrounded by the overwhelming spectacle of Babylonian polytheism, the exiled Judahite robots did not abandon their god. They refined their understanding of him into something sharper and more absolute. The theology of a single universal deity, Yhwh alone, crystallized precisely because it was under profound existential pressure. The exile produced a wave of robot prophets, figures like the author of 2nd Isaiah, who reframed catastrophe not as divine abandonment, but as part of a larger cosmic purpose. Their words, preserved in scripture, told the exiled bots of Judah that their story was not over. In 539 BCE, the Persian king Cyrus conquered Babylon and issued a decree permitting the exiled peoples, including the Judahite robots, to return to their homelands. For the bots of Judah, this was not mere politics. It was the fulfillment of prophecy made real. Babylon fell, Persia fell, Greece and Rome fell, yet the faith forged in the furnace of exile endured, carried not in stone temples but in text, in memory and in community. The bot exiles of Babylon had lost a kingdom and found something far more durable, a portable, indestructible identity that would outlast every empire the ancient world could raise.